All right, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Make sure we are up and running. Please read this disclaimer. It is on my site, realdealfutures.com. New name, Real Deal Futures. Make sure you read it there, along with terms and conditions and privacy policy. And as you can read, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. For entertainment purposes only. Trading is risky. Most traders lose money. So, we'll wait for a couple people to jump on. I'm sending this one out. Let's get this. What's up? What's up? In my group streaming, you're live there. Nice, man. What's going on? Got some guys from the Discord hopping on. Another guy who runs a large Discord himself, trading community, and he said he's streaming. Nice. What's up, Sandy? How we doing? All right, man. I'm gonna get started on this one. Don't know what I'm gonna call these. Just another live session, I guess, for now. I'll figure it out down the road. But it's not going to be live trading. We'll be talking about different topics, covering different areas. I like the live format. It's interactive. I think it is a way for you guys to ask questions. Most of these topics are super broad. I'm not going to be able to cover anything. I can direct it in the way, to answer some questions to the best of my abilities. Also, again, I'm not an expert at everything, but I'll do the best I can to answer some questions. So, this is going to be a prop firm discussion. It seems appropriate because TopStep did a pretty big discount today and unveiled that TopstepX is available to everybody. A couple of the things on here, obviously, you can read as we're going away. I'm giving away 2 free TopStep accounts. Details are in my Discord. Free Discord link is in the description. Live trading, market insights, sessions just like this. Questions answered by me, ability to speak with me, ability to talk to community, discounts, giveaways, all that fun stuff, all for free. Also, in the description of this video, I've got my TopStep affiliate link. Be warned, I make a small percentage if you do utilize that link. It's good for 20% off, no code needed. And I'll jump right to the TopstepX deal. They unveiled their new platform, TopstepX. It's a trading platform that works with TopStep, obviously. And it's integrated with TradingView, or TradingView is integrated with it. I haven't tested with it yet. I haven't used it yet. I've used TopStep with Tradovate and had good experience there, but that is their new platform. They've got a crazy discount running. I don't know what the actual percentage is, like 84 or something off of the total amount, but if you click through the link, maybe it will help me out, maybe it won't. The discount is TopstepX, all lowercase, and it's good until they said this week, the end of this week, I guess. And you can start the 50K account, 50K TopStep eval account for $19. I haven't used all of it. I haven't purchased it myself yet, but that's what they announced this morning a few hours ago. So, purpose of this discussion is to give you guys my input, my experience, my personal opinion in a non-financial advice way on prop firms in general. Some of the things you can look at, maybe some important things to pay attention to if you are considering prop firms, or you're getting into trading. You've heard about TopStep, you've heard about different prop firms, maybe you've heard some good stuff, some bad stuff, and you just want a little bit more information. I'm going to give you guys my baseline of it, and then again, it's open to questions the whole time. This isn't structured. I'm just going to yap away about prop firms and hopefully provide you guys some value. So first question that usually guys get into is, what is a prop firm? Why would I want to trade with a prop firm over live funds? Prop firms typically run in a similar way. You pay to take a test with them, a challenge, a combine, they're called different things. In a simulated environment, you trade with a certain size account that you select before you start trading. Maybe it's 50,000, maybe it's 150,000. You have goals, a profit target to hit, and you have a set of rules to stay within. Some prop firms are one phase, meaning it just takes passing one set of rules without violating one set of goals without violating any of their rules to pass and earn a funded account. Some have multiple phases. You have to read the rules. Everyone is, very different. They differ in their rules and their structure, their payout, the platforms they operate on. I'm going to talk in general a little bit here, and then we're mostly going to focus on TopStep. If you're trading your live funds, you should pretty much understand that you're risking all of the live funds, all of the risk that you put on in the market. If you take a trade for $100 of risk and you have a $1,000 account, obviously you're risking your $100. The advantage of prop firms from a risk perspective is you're only risking the dollar amount that you paid for that prop firm. That's step one. Also, I'm not trying to sell you guys on prop firms. I could care less what you do. I'll get to the downsides of prop firms as well. I have an affiliate link with TopStep, so that's all clear and out there. It's who I trade with and who I've had a good experience trading with so far. The prop account is obviously a whole lot harder to pass than just trading with your live funds. If you're trading with live funds, you could put a trade on and make money right away. If you're getting started with a prop firm, you're going to pay for a challenge to take a test with that firm. Then you're going to trade for however long it takes you to potentially pass that challenge. Then you get funded. Maybe there's an activation fee. With TopStep there is. I'll go over the prices pretty quick. And then you're trading almost always in a simulated environment still, with the potential to earn a payout based on your trading. And almost always there is a profit split, meaning you don't get all of the money that you turn a profit on in that funded account. There's also rules, again, all the way through the combine. Once you're within the funded account, there's rules. There's typically consistency rules, things like that in the combine. There's usually a buffer rule or a minimum profitable day rule. With TopStep there is, in order to earn that payout. So trading, as hard as it is, it should be said that getting funded with a prop firm and turning a profit with a prop firm objectively is harder. Anybody could put a trade onto the market and maybe make some money, one or two trades. With a prop firm, you really have to demonstrate consistent profitability, or at least get lucky a handful of times, but lucky more than once or twice. So objectively, it's important to note, most people, it's harder to trade prop firms. In my experience, the metrics I've read, the statistics, most guys don't get funded. Most accounts end up blown. The guys that do get funded, most of them blow the accounts. It's very difficult to trade to a funded account, and then that funded account into profit, and to do so consistently. It's important to note. With Forex prop firm, I'll go through that one quickly. If you've been following along at all and you don't live under a rock, or you're not very new to this, maybe you're from the Forex market and you're watching this video about the futures market and futures prop firms. The Forex prop firm industry has had a number of issues, especially for US-based traders. A lot of them have become regulated by US, the CFTC and other US regulatory bodies. They don't want them operating maybe for another number of different reasons, whether it's they're offering CFDs, contracts for difference, that are not legal in the US. Maybe they have issues with the way that they're operating their brokers, a whole bunch of issues. But summing this up, I wouldn't recommend any Forex prop firm to my worst enemy. Maybe to my worst enemy. But I've had terrible experiences with them. I don't think any of them that I've ever come across are reliable, are sustainable. There's a number of issues. If you just Google Forex prop firm issues, you'll come up with tons of rug pulls and fraud and just a bunch of absolutely terribleness. So I would stay away from that. In the futures market, that's what we're talking about here. That's what I've been trading. That's what TopStep operates in. There's a number of different futures firms. I'm going to be talking about TopStep, but I wanted to note they're obviously not the only one. There's different rules between different firms. They cost different prices. Some are less, some are more expensive. They all have different rules. It's important, in my opinion, even here talking about TopStep in this, that you do your own research. Look at some different firms. Decide whether or not you think it's a reliable firm, that they have the broker that you want to deal with, that you like the platform. You like the way that they display your metrics. And most importantly, you understand their rules. Their withdrawal policy, their trailing drawdown, their intraday trailing drawdown, their end of day trailing drawdown rules, extremely important. And the way they differ makes a huge impact on the way you can trade. Very, very important to understand that. In my opinion, TopStep has some of the best rules, at least for the way that I trade. Everybody's strategy is extremely different. We operate in a boundless market. The way that I trade, my entries and exits, the way that I take profit, the way that I control risk is just specific to me and my approach. It could be completely different for you, and you might find better luck with one of the other firms that are out there based on those rules, based on the price of the accounts, the withdrawal policies, the times to trade, the consistency rules. There's a number of different rules that go into this. And I'll jump right to the bottom piece on this. There's a ton more to know about prop firms and trading in general that I'm going to talk about in this short video. Make sure you do your own research. This is just going to scratch the surface, answer some questions that guys from my Discord and the guys that I work with have asked me, and to just give you a baseline feel for what we're talking about here with TopStep and prop firms. So do your own research, find out if they're available in your country, find out in detail about the rules, reach out to their support, ask them specifically questions. I don't work for TopStep, and most guys that you see talking about it on YouTube don't either. Maybe they're affiliates, but reach out to TopStep directly and fully understand what you're getting yourself into, so you stand a chance at passing. It's hard enough if you understand all the rules. If you don't understand the rules or you don't know that there is a rule, you don't stand a chance. So, important note. TopStep, man. TopStep is one of the premier futures funding firms, in my opinion. Again, solid rules, been around for a long time, professional traders that are behind them, an enormous amount of support that they offer to their traders, daily live streams, giveaways, just a ton of resources, really clear rules, and a good support team for what I've seen so far. I'll go through their site quickly, but I'll talk about their platforms. Yeah, we can jump right to their site, 1, 2, 3. This is their site. You click on the link, you'll end up somewhere over here. If you scroll straight down, you'll get to their 3 different account sizes. You've got 50K account, 100K account, and 150K account. You'd be selecting one of these combines to get started and trading that, hopefully following all their rules, hitting a profit target, and then moving to what they call an XFA, which is the funded account. It's not a live account, still simulated environment, but that's where you can potentially turn a profit and make money. As you can see, TopstepX is one of the platforms that they offer here. They got discounts going. Here's the discount code, TopstepX, all lowercase, at checkout. If you weren't going to use TopstepX, there's multiple different brokers that you can pick. So again, pretty big difference from the Forex market. In the futures market, it's centralized exchange. All the data is coming from one area. There's different brokers you could pick, but it's all the same data. So it's really just the platform that you work on. I had been working with Tradovate. After you hit select and you go through the checkout process, you could pick the broker that you want to deal with. Maybe it's NinjaTrader, maybe it's another one. They have a ton on there. Tradovate for me so far has worked really well. I have not used TopstepX. I can't speak on the features, how it works, if I like it or not, because I've never used it. I've only seen videos on it. It looks pretty badass, integrates with TradingView. That's the way that I like to trade. But for me, Tradovate has worked really well. It does integrate with TradingView, so you could trade right from TradingView. I'll note I do experience a small amount of lag when I'm placing and executing orders on Tradovate. On TradingView when I have the two integrated. Maybe that's because I'm streaming. Maybe that's because I have 30,000 different things running at every time, and I'm just using up too much bandwidth on my machine or my internet. But I figured I would mention that. Outside of that, absolutely no issues. If you trade straight from Tradovate, I've never experienced any lag. Really straightforward, broker, and the way that TopStep integrates with it. So just going through that process, essentially once you understand all the rules, you decide, you pick one of these, you log in, you pick the broker that you want. They give you an account. Your login information for this is the same for your broker, at least for Tradovate it is. You launch Tradovate, you log in, and you're ready to go. It's an account funded with whatever amount of money it is, and it's up to you to start trading following their rules. how many funded accounts can you trade? So combines, you can have, I'm going to answer questions as I go on this one too. What's up, guys? You could have unlimited amount of combines going at one time. You could have 10, as far as I'm aware. You could be trading them all separately or doing whatever you want to do with them. You can have 3 XFAs, which is the first step into their funded program. 3 XFAs running at any one time. A lot of other firms allow a lot more, where you can chain them together and copy trade them. With TopStep, it's 3. I've read that you can have a live account if you trade an XFA, which we're really not going to go into this. If you trade an XFA profitably under another certain set of metrics and rules, they have at their discretion can move you to a live funded account, and you can have one of those accounts and 3 XFAs. So technically 4 in total if you made it to that point, which is way down the road. But for most people's purposes, the answer to that question is 3 XFAs at one time. So here's the baseline rules, metrics on what you got going on here for each one of these accounts. They have a profit target, which is, you can see right here. They have a maximum loss limit, and they also have a trailing, an end of day trailing daily limit, which we'll talk about. And they have a maximum position size, the amount of contracts that you could trade in the futures market. That also does change once you get to an XFA. There's a scaling plan. We'll talk about that briefly. But the one thing I want you guys to note on here that's important, almost wish I started the video with this because it's a piece of information that you'll get from another YouTube video, but you really don't hear and understand right off the bat, especially if you're coming from futures firms, from Forex firms. Usually everybody wants to jump right for the big account, right? More flexibility, larger loss limit, larger amount of buying power. If you can afford it, go with the big account, right? Here's the difference with most futures funded firms, but certainly with TopStep. Note the amount of max drawdown relative to the account size. This is what I like to call risk capital. Here's the most amount of money that you can actually lose before you blow the account. This is it. If you hit this limit or you get really, really close to it where you can't trade anymore, the account's done. That's the one main rule, the hard rule. If you violate that, you're done. $2,000 for a $50,000 account, right? And a profit target of $3,000. The account size doubles over here, right? It goes to 100K, 50 to 100K. We're going to do simple math on this one. Look at what happens to the maximum loss limit. It doesn't double. $1,000 is added on. It's not $4,000 over here. Look at what happens to the profit target. The profit target increases from 3,000 to 6,000. It doubles. And then again, look at what happens when we step up to the 150K account. The maximum loss size is not 6,000. It's not triple the 50K like the size of the account, and oftentimes like the price of the account. These are typically $50, $100, and $150 without this discount going. This thing that they always have marked off here, they always have a crazy discount going. This is typically 49. This is typically 149, and I'm 99% sure this is typically 100. So the price of the account increases that much, increases relative that much as well. But again, look at the profit target and look at the loss limit. So if you're looking at a risk capital relative to purchasing power and the profit target that you have to hit relative to that risk capital, because this is how we're actually going to pass the account, right? Is utilizing this amount of money to make this amount of money here within this and all their other rules. This is really the quote unquote best bang for your buck. You're getting $2,000 of risk capital and a low profit target relative to that $2,000. If you step up to the 100K or the 150K, you actually are working with a tighter constraint relative to the size of the account and a larger profit target relative to the size of that account. So again, relative to the size of the risk capital, excuse me. So I think it's important to understand why so many guys go for the 50K. I didn't, and it was mentioned to me, but I just didn't take the time. I'm too quick. Oh man, I'm just going to go for the 150K. When I started with them, that's what I started, trading the evals on. Then I realized, wait a minute, someone mentioned it in one of my live streams. I figured, let me jump back here and take a look at this. This, if you can work within this risk capital and these contract size and, and everything else that goes into trading smaller size, this is the best bang for your buck, in my humble opinion. You guys can decide that. Something to consider when you're picking the account size, obviously. In the futures market, you got to decide whether you're trading micros or minis. These have a max contract size. This is max contracts for micros or minis. What can happen in what I've been working on and the adjustments that I've been trying to make, even still now testing with these eval accounts, changing around the different size of the accounts and picking what instrument I want to trade and my approach, my risk management, it can get a little bit tight to work with a $2,000 max loss limit and a $1,000 daily drawdown limit on the 50K account. So it's something to take into consideration. This gives you more flexibility from a daily perspective and a max loss perspective. So again, yeah, that's just the baseline of kind of deciding what account you want to go for. But something that is, I think, not talked about enough on the 50K account. Something else to consider price-wise, all traders pay, you can read it on the bottom, $149 activation fee. So once you pass the account, you pay a $149 activation fee. These have a per month price on here, right? We could see that. You purchase the account and you have 1 month to pass the account or fail the account. If you pass, you pay $149 and you move on to the XFA. Now you're trading in the XFA, looking to make a payout with that money if you follow the minimum profitable days rules and you follow their withdrawal, their payout, program, their whole deal. You don't violate any max drawdown rules. You get paid. If you fail the challenge, you have two options. You can reset it, which is typically the price of the account itself, and start from scratch. Or you can just cancel and close out the account where you don't get billed again. You have to choose which you're going to do. Or if you fail the challenge, you violate the max loss limit at the rebuild date, which is 30 days from when you purchase the account, it automatically resets. It's a free reset at rebuild. There's some nuances to that where if you have an account in drawdown or have an account in profit, it doesn't automatically reset. You have to completely have failed it and have it be eligible, meaning like you didn't close it out, you didn't cancel the subscription in order for it to reset. So make sure you pay attention to that as well. But those are your options. Pass it in a month, fail it and reset it, close it out and start from scratch. Or just say prop firms aren't for me. A couple pieces there. Going deeper into the rules, right? The other one of the first things that's important to look at on here as well, there's a max daily loss limit. So this is your maximum loss limit, right? There's a set at the end of every day. It's a trailing maximum loss limit. But before you hit that on day one, there's a daily loss limit. Differs for every account. I know it's 1,000 on the 50 and 3,000 on the 150. I'm not exactly sure what it is on the 100. So we'll just talk about those two. You can only lose $1,000 on this 50K account before it locks you out of the account. You don't lose the account. It's not a hard rule that you violate, but if you have you hit $1,000 in running drawdown for that day, it closes the positions and it closes you out of the account. You start the next day if you didn't hit this max loss limit. This max loss limit, you get down $2,000, you lose the account. It's just done. Close it out. That works. That's for here and for the XFA. Same deal. This is a trailing loss limit. A trailing loss limit, meaning as you move into profit, the loss limit moves up with you. So how would this work out? Quick example. Let's say you trade day one and you make $1,000, right? Your maximum stop out is $50,000 minus $2,000. It's $48,000. If you make $1,000, now your account balance is $51,000. When you start the next day, your max loss limit is $49,000. It moves up with your profit. It continues to move up into profit until you get to the in profit over the price of the amount of the total account. So if you make $2,000, your maximum loss limit for the next day moves to $50,000. It doesn't continue to move up past $50,000. So once you essentially make the total of your maximum loss limit, it doesn't trail further than that. It can be a little bit difficult to understand. There's more videos on it. I'm not gonna just beat it into the ground. Something to consider is it doesn't move back down. It's trailing up only. So if you make $1,000 on day one, right, on the $50,000 account, your max loss limit moves from 48 to 49,000. If the next day you lose that $1,000 that you make, the maximum loss limit doesn't move down. It only trails up with you. So it's $2,000 in max loss up until you get over that amount in profit, and then it doesn't trail anymore. But as you move up in profit, that drawdown trails. It's important to note it's different than what most guys experience in Forex prop firms. These as a whole are a whole lot tighter maximum loss limits. Obviously, the price of the accounts are a fraction of what they are in the Forex market, but it's something to note, that trailing drawdown. It trails end of day, meaning whatever profit you have at the end of day when they close trading, which is at 4:10 p.m. Eastern, that's the profit that they apply to the maximum loss limit. It doesn't trail intraday on realized or unrealized profit. That's a big benefit, in my opinion, of TopStep from what I've seen with other firms that trail intraday on realized or even worse on unrealized profit, where you have to really be trailing your stop loss up, never running an account into profit, and then running it back down into drawdown. Important piece there. Obviously, there's a maximum contract size. Again, it's for minis or micros. One mini is equal to one micro in their eyes, as far as I'm aware, when it comes to trading the maximum contract size. For most guys trading minis, NASDAQ or anything else, in my opinion, you should be fine with these maximum position size. A note on here, once you get to a funded account, they have a scaling plan, meaning you can't go directly up to this max contract size. It's different for each account, but it starts at a lesser amount. I think it's 1 or 2 on the 50K, again, and then less on the 100 and the 150K. But they start you out limiting you on how many contracts you can trade. Again, in my opinion, it's not that big of a deal unless you want to trade really big size right off the bat. As you move up in profit, you're allowed to trade up to that 5 contracts, the max position size on whatever the account that you're trading is. But it's different for each account. Again, it's called their scaling plan, and something to note as you go down the line. If you want to, their main homepage doesn't have like an enormous amount of rules. In my opinion, like a lot of times it's really laid out right in front of you. You got the baseline, you understand some of their stuff, their programs. You could look at Futures to Forex, Futures Trading 101. I like to go to resources and then their frequently asked questions, their resources guide where you could search everything. It really lays out everything in detail. You can search for different things. If you heard about something and you want to look at it, what is the scaling plan, right? Like here's what we were talking about. This is detailed, nuanced stuff that I was not familiar with at all coming from the Forex market, coming from trying to work with Forex prop firms. I say trying to because we're an absolute nightmare. I can't help saying that every time I talk about them. But it's important to understand the details and the nuances of each one of these rules and guardrails, even if they're not a rule that's going to, close the account out. It's important to realize them. I'm not going to mention them all here. I can't physically remember them. I'd have to read from this sheet. Make sure you go on to TopStep, go through all of this, every single one of these. You really should before you even spend that $19 because it's not that much money. I get it. But if you're going to stand a chance, you have to understand this. So again, let's say we want to understand the scaling plan. What is the scaling plan? Why is it important? It breaks it down, goes through everything. It shows you right here. Here's what we're talking about. Once you make it to the XFA, when you're starting out, you can only trade 2 lots. You wouldn't know that unless you came over here and understood, the express funded account rules and everything about the express funded account. Come over here and look at, multiple express funded accounts, getting started. Read through everything, man. There's more rules. Those are the important pieces that I wanted to mention. There's 2 more on here right off the bat that I want to talk about. The withdrawal stuff after, but another big piece is the let me actually look it up, the consistency rule. So It essentially is no profit for one single session, one day, can be more than 50% of the profit target. So for a $50,000 account, you can't make the $3,000 all in one day. You have to, at best, split it up between 2 days of $1,500 each. Probably 3 days because you don't want to be over. I'm not spelling it right. Jesus. And I'm taking the Lord's name in vain. Sorry about that. Let's go back here. Boom. You read through it, you understand here. Here you go, best day recommendation, 50% of your profit target. For the 150K, you can't make more than 4,500 on any day. Again, there's more specifics of these rules. It's important to understand them in full. It's important to understand the trailing drawdown, the max daily drawdown, what you can and can't trade. A couple of the important notes: you can trade news with TopStep. You can trade through whatever you want. As far as I'm aware, on the combine, for sure, you could trade through news. I'm fairly certain on the let me get my terrible spelling out of there. On the XFAs, you could trade through news. Let me make sure that I'm not messing it up. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you can trade through news. So here, the only thing you have to do is close out your positions at the end of the trading session, which is for them at 4:10 p.m. You can't hold stuff through that. You can't hold it through the weekend, as far as I'm aware. It has to be closed out by 4:10 p.m. Eastern. NYSE session ends at 4 p.m. Eastern. You got to close your trades out by 4:10, and then it opens back up for trading at 6 p.m. I'm fairly certain. That's pretty much the overview here. If you guys got questions, if you know that I'm missing something important, please shout it out, and I'll go through it. But that's the baseline of like their rules. I'm gonna go through a couple other pieces that I want to talk about. How I would potentially function trying to trade these, trying to pass them. Let's look at questions. How many funded account? We got some of that. After passing, provide a live account. Technically, no. It's not a live account. It's what they call an XFA, an express funded account. It's still simulated environments, simulated funds. You're trading on a quote-unquote demo account. It's in simulated funds. You click log into the simulated environment when you click Tradeovate. But once you pass, you move on to the express funded account. And let's go back. Let's go right into the express funded account. So you move on to the express funded account, and here's what happens. You trade with the same rules, the same drawdown and daily drawdown rules that you do in the combine, but there's no consistency rule. There's a scaling plan, and you're just focused on making a profit that you're eventually going to request as a payout. The important piece is you need to have 5 winning days of $200 or more to request your first payout. So you can't just get funded, put a nice trade on, make $5,000, and then request the payout. You have to have 5 trading days of $200 or more. So again, some guys also say on the smaller accounts, it's harder to hit that $200 a day because on the on the larger XFA, you have more chance, higher bigger risk capital to be working with. You could take on a little bit bigger size and just try to hit that $200 a day first and then start trading. No resets once you get to the funded account, no consistency target. And again, there's no profit target. You just have to worry about your max loss limit and your daily loss limit being hit. Again, your account's done for the day, but it doesn't get completely closed out. So that's the deal there. Their payout policy, also important to know. After 5 winning days, you can request 50% of your account balance. After 30 winning days, non-consecutive, you can request up to 100% of your balance. It's also important, a minimum payout, $125. It's also important to know that your payout affects your buffer and your drawdown. So just like in the combine account, this can get a little bit tricky to understand. just like in the Combine account, when you move over to the XFA, you're kind of starting from square one, except now you're quote unquote funded and you're going to be trading towards a profit. As you trade into profit, that drawdown trails with you, just like in the Combine. Once you get to your balance, your profit covers the amount of that drawdown. So in a 50K account, you get past the $2,000 limit, it stops trailing at $50,000. The deal with payouts on these, as far as I understand it, is as you withdraw money from your balance, right? Let's say you trade the account well and it gets to like a random number, $55,000, right? And you had 5 profitable days of $200 or more, and you didn't violate any rules. When you go to withdraw, obviously you're withdrawing some of that $5,000 in profit. It brings you back down closer to that max loss limit, which will be $50,000. If you go to withdraw all of your funds, it closes the account out completely because you would be coming all the way down to the max loss limit. Read it right here. Keep in mind, if you request a full 100% payout at any time, the account's closed since you're hitting the max loss limit. So, things to understand once you make it to the funded piece, which is congratulations, you do what most guys don't, you got funded. You've got to hit 5 winning days of $200 or more before you do anything crazy and hit your drawdown limit. You have to make, obviously, over $125 to be able to request a withdrawal. But you also have to understand that as you request that withdrawal, you can come back down into drawdown and shorten your max drawdown. So obviously, the more difficult thing to do, but the piece that will give you the most buffer for your max drawdown is to make some more money on it, be able to trade it into profit, and then request 50% of whatever that is, but don't bring it back down too close to that initial balance. But that's the deal. Read through their entire payout policy. Make sure all this stuff works for you. You understand everything about it. They got tons of details on it. You can see all of the things that I'm just talking about here. How to payouts impact my max position size. Same thing. There's countries that they're not available in. Same thing. There's a scaling plan, right? As you make more money, you're able to trade more size. If you withdraw all that money and you come back down within whatever that scaling plan is, you can't trade as much position size. For most guys, in my opinion, that doesn't matter that much. They allow you to trade, decent sized minis. If you're trading it ridiculously risky, then it's probably a problem. Okay. What about drawdown? Talked a little bit about that. Potential highest profit not taken. What's up, man? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Mario. Mario, my man, who's always on here, #1 student. I don't know what you mean by potential highest profit. I'm not sure. I don't think they have a limit of profit or anything like that. They've got that 50% per withdrawal that they allow, and after 5 winning days. I don't think it has to be consecutive. Once you get to 30 on an account, you can request 100. Okay, answered your question. Cool. What's up? Some of my trades are 5 to 10 are. Yeah, that win limit does suck. I hear you. The consistency limit sucks. From what I've seen in the Forex market, they had even worse consistency limits. Some of them on other firms are 15% or 30%. To me, it's like impossible, right? You got to have the good winning trades to knock it out. So I feel you. That can be hard. So you gotta work within that consistency limit for sure. So I'm not even going to talk about the live account. Once you're in I'll leave it at this. Once you're in the XFA, you pass, you get to the XFA, you trade that really, really well profitably. They call you up essentially to a live account, which has even more benefits, some drawbacks, which are fees and stuff like that. But you come on the site and you worry about that. We're going to talk about trying to pass first, and then trying to make a payout. We're too far down the line with that. When are you going to? I'm buying an account today or tomorrow, man. I traded this morning on a 50K that I've got. Before that, they announced that. So I'm going to be buying one. I'll be trading one tomorrow, and I'll be letting you guys know. I'll give you my opinion. Again, I don't have any experience with TopstepX, the new platform. Seems really, really cool. Works right from TradingView with what they said was, really, really high speeds, all these other benefits with it. You could trade all the main stuff, TradingView charts, different indicators. TopStep TV integrates, so you could be listening to them yap away while you're live and catching their free giveaways. So cool stuff. I'll be doing it, and I'll let you know this week. I'll be trading it this week for sure. I'm going to buy one, hopefully like it, and then buy a bunch more because I'd rather have them at $19. Try to pass them. Again, you could have multiple combines open. You can pass more than 3. If you passed more than 3, you don't get to trade another one. Remember, you can only have 3 funded ones, but you can have them sitting ready to go. You do have to pay monthly fees on any one individual one that you open. If you leave it open, whether it's in profit or in drawdown, you don't close it out or you don't pass it. So, make sure you consider that. So after I passed what I couldn't understand. So after you pass, Sandy, ask me the more specific question. I'm trying to answer this one for you, brother. After you pass the combine, you hit the profit target, you follow the consistency rules, you don't hit the max drawdown, you do everything that you're supposed to do. You pay the $149, which is the activation fee, and you go right to the funded account. You're a funded trader. They send you the thing in the mail. You're ready to go. You're trading towards a payout right there in that XFA. That's what it's called. And again, you have to follow their minimum profitable days rule, and you can request your withdrawal based on however much money you make. And you just have to take into consideration how that withdrawal affects your drawdown. So that's it. That's essentially what I got. But again, right on the site, this is everything that I would be looking at. Their help center, reading through all of this stuff in detail. If you have another question, they got their little bot, and you can reach out to their customer support, ask them specific questions. Again, other important stuff. Make sure they're available in your country. Make sure the withdrawal stuff is going to work for you. All that good stuff. But you got to do your own due diligence. I want to be able to give you my input on it, some stuff that I think is important to consider, some things where they don't talk about, hey, the $2,000 max drawdown limit on the 50K account is actually, from a math perspective, better, especially when you consider the price of the account, than the 150K only having a $4,500 drawdown limit instead of the triple the drawdown limit, like triple the size of the account. Instead of it being 6,000, it's only 45. So I want to mention stuff like that on here. I think that's where the value of some of this, talking about our experiences and what we've learned. Me jumping right in and buying the 150 before I took 10 seconds to actually pay attention to it, and and maybe know that and decide. Last thing I want to talk about on here, guys. You could ask me more questions if you got in the live, guys. Last thing I want to talk about on here briefly is the risk management approach to trading these accounts. You should, when you have your trading, if you're trading, let me back up. Before you attempt to pass one of these, you should be ready. You should be convinced that you can pass one. You should probably try it on demo first. And you should be able to hit that type of profit target within their rules without violating any of them. If you can't do that, then I don't know why you're trying it on a TopStep account. Maybe you're just preventing yourself from trading live funds and losing hundreds or thousands of dollars, and you'd rather just lose $19. But once you decide you can pass it, you do have to understand their rules and how you will have to potentially adjust your risk management, not really your overall trading strategy or approach, but your risk management in order to operate within those trading rules and the best way to do so. You have to consider that you have an end of day trailing drawdown. So when you're in the challenge, if you make a couple $100 every day, that's fine. But every day you're starting fresh with that max drawdown and trailing drawdown. So some things that are helpful to consider. One, the basics, like adjust your risk so how many consecutive losses you could take before you blow the account. That's going to be personal preference. It's going to be up to you. If you want to YOLO 10 of these accounts and try to pass them in 2 days, that's cool. It's not the dumbest thing in the world to do. If you maybe have some reason to believe you can do it, because the price of the accounts are so low, you can reset them and stuff like that. Maybe time is money to you and you want to buy a bunch of them. I trade them pretty aggressively. I'll blow them, that type of deal until you get funded. I think it can develop some pretty bad habits. And a lot of times, I think if you develop those bad habits, when it comes time to trade it funded, you trade it the same YOLO way that you do, taking on way too much risk, and you blow the funded account. So grain of salt that. But understand how much risk you want to take on. If you trade with a 50-tick stop loss in the NASDAQ at one contract, you're risking $250 per trade, right? We understand. You can do the math. You can go on TradingView. You can do your limit over here. We're on, this is, what are we on here? This is Dow, same deal. 50-tick on the $5 contract. I got my phone and all this stuff blocking it. Understand what you're going to risk per trade, whatever. It doesn't matter what the math is for my example. Whatever your risk per trade is, maybe you're flexible with your stop loss sizing. You're going to adjust it, decide how much dollar amount you want to risk per trade. You want to give yourself a good chance of actually passing it before you blow it in, one loss or 2 losses or something like that. A way that you can adapt your risk management that I believe is potentially helpful in these. One is being pretty aggressive with preserving capital. Obviously, this is just a general risk management. Maybe it's trailing a stop loss. Maybe it's scaling in and out of positions, leaving a runner, but trailing that stop loss up. That's kind of just general. But specific to this, with an end of day trailing drawdown, again, you're starting fresh every day. Let's talk about the $50,000 account. You can't lose $2,000 at all or you blow the account. You can only lose $1,000 a day. As you run the account into profit that day, the drawdown doesn't trail. When you close it out the next morning, the drawdown trails. I'll give you an example. I have a 50K one open. I'll trade it later. I'll show you guys later. This morning I made whatever dollar amount I made, $750 or $725, something like that. Made $700 on it. That profit is not being trailed yet. I can trade that account now more aggressively, taking on more risk because I have a profit cushion or a profit buffer, whatever you want to use to visualize this. This is the other piece of value for the video. A good approach to managing risk is to try to progressively increase your risk throughout the day, in my opinion. Dynamic risk management. Let's say you start out saying on the 50K account, I'm going to risk $250 per trade. Maybe that's way too aggressive for you. Maybe that's way too conservative for you, but let's just use that as an example. I can lose 4 consecutive trades before I hit the max loss limit, and I could lose 8 consecutive trades before I blow the account, right? That's the math behind that. It's $1,000, 4 times 250, 1,000. If you win a trade, maybe, or 2 trades, maybe you consider increasing your risk. Maybe you increase your contract size to 2 contracts with a 50-tick stop, and you're risking $500 on that next trade with the potential to make $500 or $1,000, or maybe you're my man Andre and you're making 10 times that with his 10R. You can progressively increase risk using the profit that you made that day as a buffer or a cushion. It's a way to start out conservative, protecting capital as you're starting the trading day, and then using that profit to maybe increase your time to passing, or decrease your time to passing, accelerate your time to passing. Obvious drawback from this is, as you increase the amount of contracts, the size you're putting on, you're increasing your risk. So maybe this doesn't work so well. You have 2 winning trades of 1-to-1, and you make $500. You double the risk, and now you're risking 2 contracts, 50 ticks, and you take a loss on that one. Well, that runs you straight back to 0. So again, you can approach this many different ways, but one of the deals with TopstepX, since it's end of day trailing drawdown, it's not intraday, meaning if I make $250, that stop loss moves up with me. That trailing daily loss limit or max daily loss limit trails up with me for realized profit within the day, intraday. Or even worst case scenario, it's trailing unrealized, which as you have an open trade, the thing's running up, where you really have to be a scalper and trade, and trail your stop loss super aggressively because you can't go into profit and then come back down at all. With TopStep, you can run the account up $1,000 and then back down to your, to zero without it causing any issue. You would just be at zero again tomorrow. So it's one of the ways that I'm trying to adjust to find, again, because the futures prop firm stuff is new to me relatively for how long I've been trading and working in the Forex market and trading live capital. This funding challenges on different size accounts, certainly different approaches for each one. But one of the things that I think can work if you want to trade like somewhat aggressively, quote unquote aggressively, you want to pass the account kind of quickly, but you want to stand a chance and not blow it day one or hit loss limits on every single one on day one. Maybe you progressively increase your risk. Again, maybe you start with one contract and then you size up to two after you win a trade or two, and you size up to three if you even get there before you hit your 50% consistency rule for the day. If you take consecutive losses right off the bat, the losses are small, you're preserving capital, you're good to go. As you make money, you've got more of a cushion, more of a buffer in there, you're building that up, and you can take on more risk and maybe, only trade it back down to break even. Maybe you do trade it at a drawdown, but you had some cushion there rather than just trying to, come at it super aggressively right off the bat. Again, in the combine, I think that's something to consider, especially for the smaller size accounts that have a pretty tight daily drawdown limit. You come in risking $500, $1,000 is one trade. You got to have really high win rate for that. It definitely doesn't work for me. Questions. How many country can trade it? I don't know, man. I saw it on here actually, so maybe I'll go back to it. Here you go. Which countries cannot receive payouts or earn funding? Here you go. I'll leave this up here for now. I would ask them if you're concerned or if you fall within one of these areas or you're concerned about it. I would definitely reach out to their support on their site and I would ask them. Make sure you're good to go. Don't buy something that you can't use for sure. Any other question, guys? Now is the time. Thanks for hopping on here. If you're on, I appreciate you being here as always. But I'm trying to think what else has been important about these. They have a dashboard once you I don't know what the TopstepX one looks like, but they have a dashboard. The dashboard updates at the end of every day. It doesn't update within the day. So as you're trading, it still says, like on the 50K one that I've traded into a little bit of profit today, it doesn't update. The drawdown and everything doesn't update until the end of the day. 4:10 p.m. they cut it off, and then I think it's 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for both of those. They open it back up. It updates everything, and then you can start trading again. But you do have to be out for a little over that hour. I think that's about it that I can remember. I tried to do this one unstructured. I ended up writing some notes on here for myself just so I could remember. In general, guys, again, trading's risky. Most traders lose money. Trading's hard as it is, right? It's difficult. It's objectively easier. So this is not even opinion. It's objectively easier from a math standpoint, maybe not a psychological standpoint, to make money on a live account or a demo account because you don't have rules to work within. If you have a trade running, you can let it run, like my friend here with the 5 and 10R risk to reward. If you have a losing trade, you go into drawdown, they don't lock you out of the account. You don't lose the account at that certain amount of drawdown. Everything, objectively, it's easier to trade live or to trade with demo. The obvious reason for the prop account here is it gives you access to a larger amount to trade with. Hypothetically, it's demo funds in a simulated environment, and you really only have that certain amount of risk capital. But that's the upside here. If you don't have money to trade with, here's the deal: you could leverage other people's money. I'm a fan of it. I talk about it. People ask me if I have money, why would I trade? Why would I mess with prop accounts? It's a good question. Number one, I like leveraging other people's money. I'd be happy not to have my trading capital be used for trading, not be at risk, not have to be tied up in a trading account. Maybe it's earning a percent somewhere with another, account. Maybe it's invested. Maybe I'm doing something else with it completely, and I'm utilizing these accounts. Limited drawdown, limited risk. It's capped at whatever the price of the account is. You're risking $19 or $119. I don't want to laugh. That might be a lot of money. Everybody has different relative, the price of things. That might be an enormous amount of money. So I'm not going to laugh at that. But relative to the size that you could be trading and the earning potential there, trading futures and being able to trade 5 contracts and having a $2,000 risk capital to work with, you could make a considerable amount of money, potentially. So that's the upside. The other reason I trade them, of course, is to be able to talk about it and do stuff like this. Almost every person that I come across in trading wants to trade a funded account, or they trade funded accounts. They're trying to get funded. If I'm trading a live account with a large amount of capital, I don't have to follow any of these rules. My risk management doesn't have to align with any of this. It's only so beneficial to you guys, or to anybody, for that matter, that's trying to trade funded accounts. So if 90% of the trading space is trading funded accounts, and I want to be able to help anybody at all, I've got to be able to trade the funded accounts. So here I am. It's great to have live capital. I suggest everybody saves their money up one day to be able to be profitable and consider. I don't suggest anything. Let me back that up. But I would do that, and have that as a goal one day. But these are also another option. I keep saying last, but here's the piece to consider, man. These prices up here, this is kind of like a little bit of a gimmicky, here's all the big stacks of cash, here's the Lambo, right? This is the number you want to look at right down here. This is the amount of actual risk capital, the amount of money you can lose, the amount of money you can risk with this account before they take it away from you. This is it. Until you make some profit in the account and you build that buffer up, this is it. You're paying $19, in my opinion, for a $2,000 Tradeovate, account, or TopstepX in this opinion. You're paying $119 for a $4,500. That's the amount that you can lose trading, not $150. That's your purchasing power. It doesn't even really matter because they have position sizing and it's, position size and scaling plan. That's great. You could trade these contract sizes, but this is the amount that you want to look at. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Same thing with the Forex firms, the $200,000 account. Well, if it's an 8% drawdown, it's 8% of whatever that account size. That's the size of the account that you're working with, not 50K or 150K. Look at this number over here. Think about your daily drawdown, 1,000, 3,000. That's what you're working with here for the price that you're paying. It's important to understand that and to structure your risk based on this number here. This really doesn't have much to do with anything, in my opinion. It's the size of the account. Great. It's your purchasing power. This is really your purchasing power because they tell you how much you could trade. And then once you get funded, they have a scaling plan for that. So this is somewhat irrelevant in my opinion. Pay attention here. Outside of calculating the percentage of these to understand the differences between all of them, pay attention to your profit target. Pay attention to your max loss limit and your daily loss limit when you're considering these. There's a lot more to know on here, guys. You know what to do. Go to the frequently asked questions page. Do your research. Do your research with other prop firms. Look at the other ones that are out there. Look at the major ones. Look at their rules. Decide for yourself if they're reliable or not. If it's something you should even consider, even if they have really aggressive rules. Look at the reviews. But decide. Topstep might work well for me. Maybe there's something out there that I haven't come across yet that will work even better. That has even better rules or better trading conditions. Less consistency rule or better withdrawal, withdrawals from day one with no, $200. That stuff is out there. But for what I've found, Topstep's pretty solid. So outside of the Topstep stuff, again, free Discord, free link to my Discord. I'm sorry, I've yapped a lot on this one, guys. Link to my free Discord. My Discord is now free. Live trading, sessions like this, ability to ask me questions, talking about discounts, giveaways. I'm giving away 2 free Topstep accounts, 50K accounts that you just saw on there. I was going to do it at the end of the month, but since it's a deal, I might do it a little bit quicker. I don't know what they're going to have for the rest of the month. But I'm giving away 2 TopStep accounts. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to buy anything from me. It's based on, promoting and being active in Discord. Promote my stuff on Instagram and YouTube. Details are in the free Discord. Act on it. I don't have a massive Discord following right now. I just moved everything from Telegram since Telegram was advertising in everybody's channels with scam crap and not letting them take it off even if they paid. I moved to Discord for another number of other reasons, but free Discord, man. I'm going to build, my game plan here is to build the best free futures trading Discord, best community of traders, the most value, giving the most amount of time, showing you what real trading looks like, live trading, showing you wins, showing you losses, showing you me blowing up TopStep accounts, showing you me making money with TopStep accounts, maybe with live money, in other scenarios there, doing these sessions, showing you the good, the bad, being transparent, talking about what is important in trading, the psychology, the journaling, the back testing, the paying attention to financial news. Sure, I'm going to have to I was talking about it with my man who commented earlier, I'm going to have to do some stuff to get people interested, to reach more people, to be able to help anybody. You have to reach them first. Maybe that's doing some fun satire stuff. I do some meme stuff. I do some jokes. Maybe I get a whole bunch of stacks of cash, or I rent a Lambo and I say, look how much money I made from trading. And then I say, oh, look, it's all fake. Shit like that. I don't know. Excuse me again. But I'll show you what real trading looks like. I'll show you the goods. I'll show you the bad. Good days, bad days, weeks, months, the whole deal. You saw the discounts on TopStep in the description of this video. I got a TopStep affiliate link. It helps me out. It might help you out. I don't think you're going to get anything better than that $19 for the 50K or the code that's on there right now, these prices. But it'll help me out if you click through that. When those prices are done, you get 20% off. No code needed. You just click the link or you copy and paste it, and you are good to go. If you are interested in, just jump in the Discord, man. If you're interested in getting more help with your trading, if the free Discord's not doing it for you, I got other options. You could book a free call with me, 30 minutes. I'll give you my time. It's in the Discord as well, free. You could be talking to me tomorrow face-to-face on Zoom. I'll give you time to talk about your trading and talk about how I might be able to help you out. Other than that, guys, you must have jumped in late, man, because that question doesn't make too much sense. I don't want to call you out for that. But, go back through and watch this video after it's recorded. And then shoot me a message through Discord. Ask it right in Discord because I'm answering everybody's questions if you hop in the Discord. Other than that, guys, that concludes this prop firm discussion unless somebody else has another question last minute. I appreciate you guys jumping on. Obviously, it'll be recorded. It'll be on my YouTube. And appreciate you guys being here. Stay tuned. I'll be doing more of these. Again, I'm probably going to take votes or, opinions. The most questions I get asked, whatever's the most helpful stuff to help you guys out in Discord and, on my social media. I'll do sessions, live sessions. I don't know what I'm going to call them, where I'm not trading, but I'm having a discussion, unstructured, answering questions, looking at stuff together on different sites, and trying to help you guys shorten this learning curve as best that we possibly can. Thank you guys for hopping on. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably be doing some live trading tomorrow. Today was choppy. I traded this morning, made a little bit of money. I'm going to try to get set up with that TopstepX account tomorrow, and maybe I'll be trading that live in the afternoon. We'll check it out together. Either way, I'll be trading tomorrow live. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining again. If this was helpful, if you found some value for free, hop in my Discord, find more value for free, ask me questions, let me help you out the best way that I possibly can. If you feel like giving back to me by promoting any of this stuff, by liking it, by sharing it, by posting it, by just literally following along and commenting and saying, that's awesome. It helps me out, helps me get more people. Maybe it helps me get more people to help for free like you. If not, no problem, man. Not going to ask you to do anything that you don't want to do. There's no pressure. If you hung out here and chewed my ear off every day, I might suggest that we work together a little bit more closely, but it's not a problem. You don't have to, and I won't pressure you to. Thanks, guys, for being here, and I'll see you in Discord.